Welcome back to Men's Health's Next Top Trainer. Last week, we saw the instructional video challenge. Some trainers stood out from the pack, and others trailed behind. Ja took home the W, establishing himself as the trainer to beat with 2 wins under his belt.
Ja being Ja, he's consistent.
And we say goodbye to Anthony Rice, a trainer who was just a little bit too cool for school.
Anthony Rice, you were exposed. You shouldn't have been here at all.
5 trainers remain, and the competition is heating up. This week is the Hot Seat Challenge. To be a men's health trainer, it takes more than just good looks and flashy workouts. You need to have expert level, science-based understanding of the body. We're putting trainers in the hot seat and testing their ability to remember and deliver accurate information on demand. Each of our trainers will be asked one fitness knowledge question by each of our 3 judges. They'll then have exactly 1 minute to answer and make a case for their response. Let's check in and see how the trainers are preparing for the hot seat.
I do believe I'll be fine in this challenge. I have that application side of everything as an athlete, and then I have that trainer background, that knowledge, that science behind it. Looking forward to getting on the hot seat.
I've been successful in the last couple weeks, right? Don't expect anything different this time around. So just make sure you look out for me next week.
I'm wordy, one, and so when I'm trying to explain science and anatomy, I need more than 60 seconds.
The contestants will be judged by myself, Eb Samuel, fitness director of Men's Health Magazine,
You can look the part, you can move the part, but can you think the part and can you express the part?
and Jeff Cavalier, founder of Athlete X.
A lot of people can sometimes learn what they're going to talk about 5 minutes before they talk about it and then go execute a video, but that's not real understanding of the subject matter. Here, they don't really have that luxury. They have to prove that they actually understand it.
Also, this week's special guest judge, Steffi Cohen, an exercise physiologist and APA world record holding deadlift champion with a doctorate in physical therapy.
You can't understand complex topics if you don't understand the basics, so I want to see that they master the fundamentals.
So let's see if the trainers can stand the heat. Let's bring on the first contestant. All right, Chris Colson, welcome to the hot seat this week. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we'll kick it off with Steffi. Steffi, fire away.
Which muscles are contracting isometrically, concentrically, and eccentrically in the back squat?
So during the eccentric phase of the back squat, the quadriceps is lengthening, the glutes are contracting isometrically really because they're supporting the squat, and the hamstrings are contracting. At the bottom of the squat, the glutes are the main supporter of the squat, so they're doing the main isometric, but so are the adductors as well as the hamstring. And then at the beginning of the squat, the glutes are the primary mover. The adductors are assisting with that hip extension as well. And then the hamstrings assist a little bit until you get to the top where you finish the hip extension.
You answered that in 33 seconds. Jeff, it's your turn to ask your question.
What modifications would you make to someone's leg training if they had chronic anterior knee pain?
First, I need to figure out why they're having a chronic anterior knee pain, right? So in general, that's probably because they're messing up something form-wise on their squat or on their leg extension. So I would really start emphasizing calf, a lot of calf additional exercises to really make sure that knee stability is good. I'd also add in a lot more hamstring exercises to also really improve that knee stability, decrease loading a lot and start increasing reps on maybe doing like quarter and half range of motion quadricep exercises.
My question for you is, which training tool places your shoulder in the most optimal position for an overhead press, and why? The dumbbell, the kettlebell, or the barbell?
I would say the dumbbell because the load is sitting right over your wrist. You're able to get in good scapula position and maintain that throughout the press. So your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist is in perfect position for the overhead press.
Any feedback for Chris, guys?
You answered with confidence and you had some rationale for that, so I'll give you points on that. The one thing you're not considering though is that the kettlebell is also going to place us, it's going to essentially tip us into external rotation, which is always going to be a healthier position for the shoulder.
So I actually think your calm under fire was magnificent, really.
And one thing that you missed completely was the ankle joint, so I would have liked to see kind of like hip, knee, ankle, what are the joints, what are the muscles that are acting at each joint and during which portion, and whether or not they're contracting concentrically or eccentrically.
And that first question, man, that first question was loaded.
After a strong showing in each of the previous weeks, Ja dropped the ball in the hot seat.
So the most optimal position would be the barbell. I think you have just a better chance of kind of spreading your arms. Each person is going to be shaped a little bit differently in terms of their body structure, and the barbell allows you to change your hand position to again get that belt above the head.
I think you're the strongest person we have here overall. You're probably my favorite person here, and so I'm just having trouble reconciling everything I've seen from the past couple of weeks with the answer today.
All right, Josh, welcome to the hot seat. All right, Steffi, kick it off.
I want you to take your time with this question.
The back squat isolates definitely the lower back. So because the rack is on your back, the bar is on your back, I believe that your trapezius is contracted, right? You have trapezius, keeping the upright posture, making sure your back is strong, upright position. I believe it makes it easier on the lower back as you get to the top of the squat.
All right, next up is Jeff's question.
So I'm making sure that they have full range of motion. All right, externally, internally, bring the knee to a bend. I'm sure they will have pain there. So what I like to start, a light leg press, something that doesn't put too much pressure on the knee.
Eb, last question is to you.
Okay, Josh, let's wrap this up. Here's your question.
I would say the kettlebell. The kettlebell, because if you're using a barbell, it's gonna balance your shoulder width between holding the bar. All right, both of them are gonna be balanced. The kettlebell, it can go either way. You can go inside, it can go out, right? You have to hold a good, stable, posture in your form in your shoulder to be able to push the kettlebell without it tilting to the side.
We will now go back to Steffi.
Josh, you said 0 things, man. You said no things at all. I got no things from your answer. I don't know if it's because you're nervous or because you didn't understand the question, but I would never consider the back squat a trap exercise.
I don't envy the position you're in, but I would have hoped to get a better response.
This is where we start to separate the guys who look the part, move the part, from the guys who can think the part too. You did get the question right. It is the kettlebell. The bad news is it seemed like you were kind of, again, fumbling for your words and not really sure where you wanted to go with it.
I didn't feel like I did my best. I know I could have did better, but I understand this is what the hot seat challenge is all about.
Vontae struggled a little bit, but then Steffi felt like he did a pretty dang good job.
Going into your squat, as you're lowering, descending down, you have your glutes engaging. You're going eccentrically on the way down as you're going in the back squat. So your glutes, your quads, and as you're pressing back up, you're concentrically back in that concentric phase. Your glutes are squeezed on the way back to the top. Your hamstrings are working, and then your quads as well on the way back to the top.
And you have 30 seconds. Anything else?
Time. Right. So with this, if you get to muscles in the calf, you have your gastrocnemius constricting up as well. That concentric motion, it's pressing up, squeezing, and that's all I got for this one. I don't want to feed wrong information.
I like that you at least went to the calf, because that's something that nobody did.
All right, JJ, welcome to the hot seat.
The back squat, isometrically, obviously your glutes are going to be contracting. Eccentrically, as you sit into your hamstrings are going to light up. Concentrically, the weight shifts more to your quadricep muscles as you are on the ascent during that squat portion.
You still have 30 seconds if you want to get into anything else.
Try to keep it pretty simple, Steve.
Okay. Jeff, it's your turn.
If a client came to me and had some chronic anterior knee pain, I would watch the amount of weight they're loading on that joint itself. I would also make sure that they had some support through the movement, whether it's assisted through a machine or if it's using a bench or a box.
Okay, last question is coming from Eb.
So right out the gate, I'm thinking dumbbell. While all of us are humans, yes, anatomically, we're not all structured the exact same, and the ability to come off of a barbell, which holds you in a rigid position, and pick up a dumbbell, which helps you to move a little bit more freely through that range of motion, I think that dumbbell is going to help the majority of the population stay in proper form through that full range of motion in that shoulder press.
So let's start off with Steffi. What is your feedback for JJ?
Only muscle that you got correct was the quads. This question required a little bit more global or holistic view in order to answer.
I did like the fact that you suggested the use of a bench or a box to squat to. What I didn't necessarily like was one of the first suggestions was get them on a machine. Some good, some not so good for me.
What I wish I got a little more of is why you prefer the dumbbell to the kettlebell. I worry that I don't have a good feel for how much depth of science knowledge you have beyond keep it simple.
The seat was hot. For me to put the kettlebell above the dumbbell, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go dumbbell, and then it would be barbell, and then it would be kettlebell.
All right, so after hearing all 5 contestants, who is at your bottom this week?
Josh was at the bottom of my list. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about in the most basic exercise. I mean, that to me is a problem.
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, Josh, too many holes. Too many holes in the explanations, and it wasn't working for me this week.
Don't want to send him home because I think he has so much charisma and personality. But if you can't match that up with the training knowledge, I don't know what to do.
And then who was your favorite?
I think Chris, to be honest with you. He had something to say about everything, which is good. It's better than most.
And it's easy for me to get on board with Chris too, because I feel he has a philosophy. I feel like there's something that he's grounded on.
I'm going to give it to Chris. As much as I love Ja, that response on barbell is flat out wrong. And we should, as trainers, we should all know that. So I've got to give it to Chris because he was just closer to right on that last one compared to Ja.
I'm sure each one of these guys walked away from this challenge feeling like, oh, that just got real. I will get with these guys and I'll let them know the decisions. Good to see everyone. You guys met with the judges and you were tested on the spot. It was tough. It's gonna go right into the results here. So Javante, JJ, and Ja, you guys are safe this week. That leaves us with Josh and Chris. So Josh, you have star quality, but in this challenge, you struggled. It was one of those things that we know in that live test-like situation, it can be tough. So this week, you will be eliminated. We just felt like it was not your week.
I just got to get better. I got to sharpen my tools. So next time I'm in this position, I'm firing away, answering with confidence, and I can tell you, I will be back.
All right, so Chris, you are this week's winner. So we were hard on you, but you kept your cool. And even though you didn't get everything right, you demonstrated a training philosophy and a thought process.
I was just more relieved to get it done than anything. But yeah, I'm very excited and proud that I'm the winner.
You get a boost. That means we'll be putting your workouts on Men's Health social platforms.
Congratulations, you made it another week. And next week is gonna be the Celebrity Workout Challenge. This one's gonna be super fun. So we'll see you next week.
This week, we're shaking things up and we're going Hollywood. Trainer to the stars, Don Saladino.
Known as the superhero coach, where I've trained dozens of A-listers for the big screen.
Hey, I'm Rich Ting. Crazy what this guy has done in such a short amount of time.
Come on, man, the clock's ticking, get working.
We're gonna go 2 reps on one side, 2 reps on the other side.
You guys know why you talk about the food and the martial arts and the movies? Because you have zero else to say.